Hello guys, today we're going to look into two ways to install Python packages inside Airflow Docker image. So basically you have two ways. One way is you can install Python packages by adding it to official Docker YAML file. The second approach, which is better, is to create your own Docker image locally, and you can add as many packages as you want. So you have a local image which has all your Python packages for your development. So let's go for a demo. I'm going to use the default YAML file from Docker website, so you can also follow along if you want to use that. First, I'm going to download the file locally. Since I don't have any YAML file, as you can see, so I will download that locally. So once that is downloaded, I will open that into with VS Code. You can use any text editor, that should be fine. So this is how it looks like, the default YAML file from Airflow. I want to run this first so you can see what packages that I need. Let's run this to build this Airflow locally. Depending on your internet connection, it might take some time to pull all the images locally and build your Airflow Docker image. So let's wait for that to download and start everything. What it does is basically it creates like a couple of containers locally, which is for scheduler, worker, and web server. It looks like it's already started. It's waiting for a connection. So let's go to browser and check that out. The default user and password is Airflow and Airflow. Where you can see that is if you go to YAML file. Here, username and password, Airflow and Airflow, which is basically a database username. Once you log into that, I just want to show you what I want to install, which is not available by default. If you go here on the connection type, I want to install a Databricks operator and connection type, so I can use it in the DAG that I'm going to build in the future. If I type Databricks, you don't see any connection type for Databricks. So let's go ahead and install that from the YAML file. So if you see we don't have that, I'm going to go here and cancel that build, which is Control-C or Command-C. Control-C, basically even in Windows it will work. It will kill the image. We can double check that with running Docker PS. We see there's no container running. So let's add the packages that I need for the Databricks to work. The way to do that is you can go to the YAML file. There's a section where you can put your packages, which is on line 61. Whatever you put here is like what it does. It's doing a pipe install in all those 4 containers like scheduler, web server, worker node, and other. So the way to add that is you can put it here. So what I need is Apache Airflow provider for Databricks. That will give me connection type and some other operators for Databricks to run the jobs on the server. So once you do that, you save this file and we can go back to terminal and we can simply run docker compose up. So if you can see, it's recreating the containers, all these 4 containers. Why it's being recreated is because we are installing that Databricks operator. And and we can see that in the logs also. If we wait for some times, it will show up here. So you can see here, for example, it's installing this on trigger and also on the web server and worker. And you also see this warning that this is not the recommended way of installing packages because it's not as stable. The best way is to install it from by building your own image, which we're going to do after this, once I show you what you're going to install. So it takes some time because it's building all those 4 containers again. So let's wait for that. It looks like it's ready now. We go back to the browser and refresh because we logged in before and we terminated the containers. And once you log in back on the admin connection, and when you add connection, you can see now Databricks is added here. So now this is one way of doing this, which we did this part from the YAML. Let's build our own image, which is better way of managing your packages inside Airflow. Now we're going to build the second part where we create our own local Airflow Docker image. The way to do that is very easy. So we kill the previous run, which was from the YAML file. The way to check your images in the Docker is you can run docker image ls, which will list all the images that you have locally. I've built this locally before, but this is the default image that's built by the YAML file. And now we're going to create a new one from the Docker file that we created. So this is a sample file that I created. So all you need is a sample file, which is Docker file. This Docker file is very standard for whatever image you're going to build. We are going to build for Airflow. It will follow the same approach, but this time we are going to build for Airflow. So the way to do it is you have to specify which image and the version, which is, as of recording this video, the Airflow is 2.41 is the latest one. Then we are going to use root user. What the root user does is any packages that you install in the OS level, operating system level, which is Linux, Ubuntu, you have to use root. So that's why I'm using root here to do an update and install the GCC and default libmysql client, which I need for these other 2 Python packages that I'm going to install. This was not part of the demo, but I just added for if you wanted to add multiple packages. So this is the way to do it. You had / and then @ which you will give the second package. Same way on the pipe. When you want to install any packages that's from Python, you have to use Airflow user. Otherwise you'll get warning. So this is the way to install the packages, like the Databricks that we install. Now all we need to do is build this image, which is very simple. We have to browse where your Docker file located. In my case, it's on the build. So I'm going to go to the build directory. You see this file that I have that we just show you guys. To build the image is very simple. All we have to do is use docker build. So I'm going to run the simple command, docker build. T is a tag name. You tag your image. For me, I'll tag it maybe my local, or let's say my Airflow. Then if you don't specify the tag, the version, it will name it as a latest, but it's a good idea to version your Airflow or any packet, any images that you build for the Docker. So mine is Airflow 2.41. I'll say 2.41, and I'm going to build it from the file, which is Docker file. This is the file that I'm going to give it to the parameter. And then I'm going to say where that file located, which is current directory. I want to add one more command here, which is no cache. What it does is pulling the image again from the Docker Hub, so it will not use any cache that I have locally. Depending on the internet connection you have, it might take some time for some user, but most of the time it will be faster because it's a Docker. We have to wait for it for some time. As you can see, it's already finished on my side. It took around 54 seconds. Yours might be more or less depending on the connection you have. Once you build that, let's check the list of image in Docker image list of the images. So this is the tag name we gave to the image name, and the tag, the version number. So it's built like 32 seconds ago, and it's ready for us to use it. So to use that, all you need to do is go back to your YAML file, which we downloaded previously, and we'll say instead of downloading this from the Docker Hub, we remove this variable. We build it from our local image. So this is how you specify that, and the name that we given was my Airflow. We have to specify exactly that, and the version name should also match. Now if you go back on build the image again, Docker compose up. So it's the images you see again recreated for those like for containers, because we're using our local image that's stored in your system. That will include all those packages that we had it. And that's the reason we built local images, so we don't have to reinstall the packages that we need every single time. Oh, one thing I forget to do that. Let me cancel that. I need to cancel that and go back. We no longer need this. Save that. Rerun the build. So this time it should not install that, and because it's already included in the image we built. It might take some time to build it. Looks like we're almost done. Yep. Almost there. Yeah, all done. So let's go back and log in again. Refresh that. If we go back to connection, we should see the Databricks connection type is part of this image. As you can see, it's already there, and that's how you add your own local packages or any other Airflow connection types or providers. You can include it on your image and rebuild your image again. So that's all for this tutorial. I'll be making more Airflow and Redshift tutorials on coming weeks. Let me know what you want to see on Airflow. I might build custom operators or custom plugins, and if that's what you want, you can comment, and I'll be making that tutorial. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.